Comrades, today we gather to put forth the initial steps of the Spanish Civil War.
Yes, Revolution. Yes.
Revolution. We will seize back the means of production.
See, I like that.
We will dismantle the bourgeois state.
What is a bourgeois?
They're the wealthy people who have been holding us under their boot heel for countless generations. The bourgeois, it's the basic tenet. We will dismantle the bourgeois
I only have
state.
like 3 years of schooling.
Well, that is another one of our things that we're working on. We'll work on that too. We'll dismantle the bourgeois state. We will increase education among the populi.
That sounds cool.
We will rise the proletariat to take down our oppressors in the fascista government.
That's pretty cool too. Sorry, I'm getting tired.
Yes. We will do all of that after a small nap.
Oh, it's siesta time.
Everyone, get your tapas and your wine and take a small siesta. And then after that, we will dismantle the bourgeois state.
Good, because I was getting very sleepy.
Yes, we're all very sleepy.
I'm very sleepy.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, we're sleepy. We're all sleepy.
What kind of tapas are we talking?
Prosciutto? That's Italian. Hold on a second.
Jamón ibérico?
Iberico?
Welcome back, everybody, to Delete Everything Podcast, our little rebel enclave in the woods, doling out the AK-47s of lost, forgotten, deleted, and omitted history for you to shoot yourselves in the foot with if you want. Just don't shoot us.
Your ass.
Just don't shoot us. In this week's episode, we are talking about Spanish on Spanish war crimes. We are talking about a poor girl who becomes a critical figure in the Spanish War for Independence and the fight against authoritarianism and industrial overreach. But before we get into that, a huge thank you to anyone and everyone who gave us ratings, reviews, comments on Spotify. We appreciate you guys a ton. If you have not done so yet, please get on whatever you're streaming on and let us know that you like this episode. Give us 5 stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. If you're on Spotify, leave us a comment on this or any other episode. That shit helps us out a lot, just in terms of visibility, right? While you're on your phone, hop over to Instagram, follow us at Delete Everything Podcast, where you can find pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff correlating to this episode, any other episode that you liked. And YouTube, we have YouTube videos. They're mostly us doing like our Patreon, our bonus episodes. It's just us dicking around, making jokes and stuff like that. It's fun stuff. And
I've asked you repeatedly to refer to them as boners episodes.
Not on YouTube. They're not boners episodes.
Yes, they are.
Patreon.
The YouTube has got our Patreon videos. Those are our boners episodes.
Speaking of Patreon, if you go to patreon.com/delete everything podcast, you can become one of our absolute most favorite people. It's
one that pays us.
It's $8. It costs you $8, but you will get a back catalog of 70 episodes, 70 plus maybe at this point, and they're a little bit more goofy, fun. You know, what did we just talk about? We just talked about.
I talked about how my brother died.
Or I think the Patreon episode that drops with this episode same week discusses General Mills making submarines, serial people making submarines, circumcision, Florida seafood culture,
a lot of that. Yep.
And
my
your brother dying.
My brother dying. My passionate search for meaning as I travel the country working for a failing corporation. And also jacking off. We talked about jacking off a little bit.
Yeah, and all that condensed into 45 minutes. So it's real joke heavy. So if you if you want to like give up, I don't know, one fucking combo 4 at Wendy's per month,
you fat bitch,
you could just not do that and be healthier and listen to us make jokes on Patreon. This week is your episode, Buster. So I got all the things down. It's your turn tonight. Talk about our
tonight on Delete Everything Podcast. It's Patrick Wall and Riley Bowen.
Who are we talking about?
Tonight we're talking about actually a very critical figure in the Spanish Revolution and Civil War of the early 1900s.
Okay.
So this is somebody who had a life that moved through like pretty much every political upheaval of 20th century Europe.
Right.
Kind of a subversive figure in a lot of ways, kind of a controversial figure in a lot of ways, but generally, anyone who's ever had any sort of revolutionary leanings or just growing up was like, I'm a fucking anarchist or I'm punk rock or some shit like that.
Hey, Drew is here.
Yeah, Drew's here to interrupt my opening.
You guys haven't heard
my
from
fucking train right off the track.
You guys haven't heard from Drew in like a month.
What's up, Drew? Were you wearing Mardi Gras beads? You see some titties?
It's Fat Tuesday. Today's Fat Tuesday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Fucking I never even ate a donut.
That's not what you eat on Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
You ate beignets or king cake.
Yeah, if you're from fucking New Orleans.
No, other people from not New Orleans.
Beignets or donuts. I hate to tell you.
Kind
Wait, I
of.
showed my titties.
Hey. Anyway, what were we talking about? Speaking of titties, this woman had them. Her name was Dolores Ibárruri.
Do you want to jump in on this one? We just started it. Okay. A no is an option. At least now the listeners know you're alive, which is nice.
Buddy, I don't even want to be on this episode.
I'm a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. We're all
Yeah.
busy guys.
He's been-
He's probably the busiest guy.
He's been busy in the stool factory.
Yeah. Yeah. Fresh from the
Still to the
euthanasia
left,
unit.
still to the right.
Speaking of the stool factory, we gotta wrap this up pretty quick because I gotta go.
I gotta go to the stool factory.
I gotta make it to
Is a great way to say you gotta poop. Who are we talking about today?
somebody who deserves more respect than we're giving her with this intro.
We haven't even started talking about her yet.
Yeah, I know, but boy, oh boy, poop, huh?
Okay. Well then I'll reset.
Well,
Who are
you-
we talking about? This is your episode. I don't
we're
know what
talking
the
about
fuck's going on.
Denny Villeneuve?
Who?
Dolores Ibárruri.
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 Okay.
Dolores Ibárruri.
Dolores.
Dolores Ibárruri.
Okay.
Many knew her as La Pasionaria, the passion flower. This is the story of her rise to well, I wouldn't call it power so much, but her rise to struggle to become the probably the number 2 communist section leader in all of Europe.
Really?
Yeah, I mean outside of Stalin at a certain point.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So she's second in place behind Stalin.
she was Stalin's like right hand woman. Like, but not like so far as like they were hanging out together in Russia or anything. I mean, like in terms of communism across Europe.
Oh,
Like,
got it.
They were very closely aligned.
Okay.
All right, so Dolores Ibárruri was born in 1895 in Gallarta in Spain's Basque country.
Gallata.
Gallarta.
Gallata.
We're gonna do a lot of that. We're gonna do a lot of Patrick correcting me saying Spanish shit.
It's okay.
But that Gallarta was an industrializing region dominated by iron mines and steel production. So like you think of Spain as being lovely, verdant. You know, like
Do you know that in
Ibiza.
Do you know that in the Basque region of Spain, they still speak the Basque language?
Yes, now I do.
Yeah, it's not consistent with like like everywhere else Spanish.
I'd like to go to the Basque country in Spain. That sounds
It's
fun.
beautiful. It's very pretty.
So anyway, Dolores Ibárruri was born in 1895 in Gallarta in Spain's Basque country, an industrialized region dominated by iron mines. I already said all this shit. Her father was a coal miner. Her husband would be a steel miner. And this environment where she's from and the people she's surrounded with really like shaped her environment in her early life, which is
So
something
real working class,
very working class, like coal mine-
hardcore blue
fucking
collar shit.
I was born a coal miner's daughter. that
Yeah,
kind of
like
shit,
the bluest of blue collar,
Loretta
black
Lynn
collar.
ass, yeah, like Loretta Lynn ass, like backcountry working hard. Yeah.
coal coated
Yeah.
collar.
And as somebody from like an industrialized town, like this is sort of the blue collar worker, the coal miner, the factory worker.
Right.
Really sympathize with these people.
Right.
And it's really like that's when we think about her getting into communism and socialism later in her life. That's just exactly what you think it is. It's the art of the Communist Party is these exact people
Right. Yeah.
rising up with the tools and
Sure.
shit, yeah. So if you're going to understand her politics, you have to understand that Spain at the turn of the century was really, really out of balance.
Mm-hmm. How out of balance was it?
Really out of balance.
Whoa.
So on paper, it was like a constitutional monarchy under the king Alfonso VIII.
And what time period are we talking about?
Like the beginning of the early 1900s. So
Okay.
1895 was when Dolores Ibárruri was born.
Okay.
Ibárruri was born. We're kind of moving like directly into the 1900s. So it started 1900. It was constitutional monarchy under Alfonso VIII. But in reality, political life was dominated mainly by like oligarchic elites.
Okay.
Which we can't sympathize with.
Which is weird. I can't even
Who would
imagine.
thunk at that. You got one thing on paper, but then it turns out that a bunch of rich fucks
Get to
with
make
a bunch
their
of
own
corporate
rules?
interests are running everything.
Wild
In an industrialized society.
Jeez.
What? So they all alternated power through managed elections, rural poverty, and education mostly.
Yeah.
So
Hey, did they take all of their money that like they basically siphoned away from the general public and do really horrific, sinister shit with it?
We're talking about rich people, yes.
Okay. Can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. Just horrible, depraved, sinister stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
That no one is cool with.
Well, no, because they're not technically the rulers of the country, and they don't have a political charter of any kind. They're just running things because they've found their way into a higher echelon of power through capitalism.
Which means that which of course means
they got a puppet government that's being run specifically by their capitalist interests.
Right, which of course means that if they were charged and tried for any of this horrific
just
shit that they
buy
do,
their way out of it,
then the whole system would collapse. So we can't do that.
Exactly. And really,
we need the system,
and that's why
guys.
that's why you're going to see later the Communist Party rises up and tries to have them killed.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just trying to get my mindset in a place where I can understand this
think
on a
about
deeper
it like
level
this.
because
Think-
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Think about it like this, okay?
Yeah.
So Spain at the beginning of the 1900s, right, is ostensibly a monarchy. They've got a king. Okay. That king is ineffectual, useless even, and just parrots the talking points that these oligarchs that run steel, coal, not natural gas at the time, but various other forms of fuel or food or big pharma, things like that.
So strange.
So their king will just parrot those talking points in like a very feeble attempt to kind of like bring unity to the country. But it's so transparent that even like your basic working class layman is like, well, this is bullshit and we're starving. So, that's just kind of it's your class. It's the Hunger Games,
What a world.
just like the Hunger Games,
What a world.
to bring up the only possible, side by side that I could think of there. Okay. So
It's the only one you can think of, right?
yeah. So there's all kind of rural poverty. Industrial labor conditions were super harsh. Illiteracy was super, super high. And the year 1898 had brought a big national humiliation, right? So Spain lost its major colonies. And we're talking about Cuba, Puerto Rico, the Philippines, in the Spanish-American War. Right? So a lot of like political intellectuals spoke of national decay, and that was kind of like that sort of speech started going through like, oh, well, we're losing our outlying colonies, and that speaks to the weakening of our foundations.
Right. We're not as powerful as we used to be.
Yeah, exactly. So
make Spain great again.
Yeah, but at the same time that's going on, that's what you're hearing, seeing in the newspaper, like, oh, we're losing our foundations. But all the workers are just like, yeah, we're also losing our fucking food. We're hungry. Our wages are super stagnant.
Our
Shit
kids are
sucks.
dying.
Yeah, exactly. And we're all fucking working in the mines. We all have black lung or steel lung, which is fucking fun. Nothing like breathing iron shavings all day.
God damn.
So it's just an industrialized populace for the most part that's just getting very, very fed up. It actually is kind of a great parallel to the Hunger Games. I was doing that jokingly, but it does come out to that.
Yeah,
because Spain, it was relied heavily on an atmosphere and an image of being, if not prosperous, at least has like a great rural sort of culture to it. You know, like, if you think to España, drink wine on a veranda or some shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily be like opulently wealthy, but there's land, there's sunshine, there's, fresh everything.
And those things, I mean, like wine is insanely cheap in Spain.
Well, yeah, of course it is. But
always has been.
But at the same time,
they make a lot.
You have to think of the merits of that very system of living come through a sort of wealth of its own.
Okay.
The fact that you even have the casual ability to own a vineyard or some shit.
Sure.
Or have your own private vineyard at your house that you make your own wine with, some shit like that. But you just be a farmer, but you're still living comfortably. That speaks to a certain laissez-faire attitude towards wealth, labor, and things like that, that the more industrialized sections of Spain aren't able to be laissez-faire about because they've got specifically iron or coal.
Right, because they don't get those things. They have to go to factory. And so this is sort of spreading across Spain.
Exactly. So it's you kind of think of this in terms of there is opulence in the city centers and the monarchistic regions of Spain at the time. You know, obviously there's balls and fucking the king is always going on a new fucking fun adventure. A new ship has been built just in his honor or something. And this is your basic, you know, fucking John Steinbeck ass Grapes of Wrath.
How many days a year did he play golf?
I don't know if golf was big in Spain. But I'll bet he just porked a bunch of ladies and dudes and dressed in opulent fabrics. You know?
Okay.
So in the Basque mines, labor was really, really dangerous, and
that was not a
relentless.
comparison to anybody, but
No, I didn't think so. Yeah,
nobody.
But yeah,
What?
Said no, of course not.
no. We don't know anything like that in America because here we're free.
Yeah.
Um,
Release the files.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're released. Do something about them. I think
the
is now the
lizards
new.
are gonna hear you, dude.
The new thing to say is do fucking something about them.
We're not suggesting we execute anyone behind a dumpster.
No, I'm suggesting we execute everyone behind the dumpster.
Ding, ding, ding. So in the Basque mines, labor was super, super dangerous and really relentless. And the shifts were extra, extra long.
Of course.
And there were, of course, a lot of accidents, just like when we were talking about the West Virginia Coal Wars.
Sure.
I mean, there's a really good parallel to the West Virginia Coal Wars and not far off
And
in
people are
timeline
probably
either.
making fucking pennies.
Like
a day.
the Coal Wars, we're talking like, it was like 1875, right?
Ooh, yeah, it started in the 1800s and bled over, I think, all the way. I think, what was that big battle?
The Blair Mountain.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, Battle
Yeah.
Blair Witch Mountain, yeah.
I think that was in the earlier part of the 1930s, maybe.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Okay, so
Don't quote me on that.
we're starting right here at the 1900s, but it's the same level of industrialization.
Yeah, it's peak industrial revolution, right? Industrial
it's the
revolution
same shit,
started in the early 1800s, and it takes a while for that to really just kind of
Right.
cover everything.
Yeah, so in this
develop everything
in the Basque region where all this kind of shit is happening, much like in West Virginia and the coal mines, you know, the Basque region is like the housing is super overcrowded. Workers often depended on company stores that trapped them in debt. Like it's a very strong parallel. And thinking of the Hunger Games
company
parallel,
stores, company towns in general.
Yeah, the Hunger Games parallel is just like, yeah, you're in fucking District 12. You never saw fucking Hunger Games.
I did, actually. The first one.
Yeah, so you're trapped in District 12. You have specifically this to live on, or else you're just gonna fucking die.
Right.
So Dolores grew up devoutly Catholic. She attended school very briefly, and she showed some promise, but family finances forced her to quit school. So she would work in factories, mines, odd jobs. She married a man named Julian Ruiz.
Okay.
Or Julian
Julian
Ruiz. You guys are going to hear a lot of me doing a bad Spanish accent. But she married Julian Ruiz at 19. And between 1915...
Ruiz, like, are you easy?
Are you easy? Ruiz.
Julian Ruiz.
She married Julian Ruiz at 19, and between 1915 and the early 1920s, she gave birth to 6 children.
Wait, in what time period?
Between 1915 and the early 1920s. So between
rapid succession,
5 and 7 years, she had 6 children.
Rapid fire, yeah.
In the conditions working in the Basque area.
Julian must have been slinging that thing, dude.
Well, there's not much to do except fucking work steel and then
I'm just saying. My boy Luis liked
working steel and laying pipe, right?
Yeah.
So out of her 6 children, only 2 survived.
Oh God. Well, now I feel bad.
Take that. But only 2 survived to adulthood. The conditions in this area were just that bad.
I mean, that's tracks. That's sort of that's sort of the times.
Yeah, exactly.
Industrial Revolution was just fucking terrible.
You think Dolores at that time, she's fucking 19 when she starts having kids. So that is going to be her life. She's going to have kids. She's going to work in this industrial town. She's going to fucking die. That's what you got. You got maybe until 35, 40.
The setup so far is not like someone that I would go, oh yeah, she's going to be a revolutionary.
No, and
the
not in any
setup
way.
so far is like, oh, she's going to be
what it's going to happen, obviously,
poor,
is that
and
a record producer is going to drive by and hear her singing on the porch, and she's going to have a country western career.
Yeah, no, like the trajectory right now.
Yeah,
is.
I mean, this you die early, you die young. Yeah. Maybe some of your kids live, maybe not.
The trajectory right now, based on her being born into poverty, her having to quit school, her getting married and starting to have kids at 19, and having 6 of them in rapid succession, is really not what do we used to call it? Piss and mud. It's a die and piss and mud sort of.
Yeah, it's exactly what that
What
is.
episode was that? Was an early episode.
I was thinking earlier.
I think that was Monarch. That was British Monarch, or the Royals' first one.
I was listening to the Royals part 3 that we just recorded, and I was thinking about like. I had this thought earlier. I was like, fucking people dying in the bog situation we were talking about in one of the battles. I was like, yeah, you just die in some piss bog.
Yeah. You said that?
Yeah, out loud to myself.
Nice.
Yeah, so the grief of losing your children in poverty isn't like an abstract detail. That's like, it's really something that shaped her and, made her understand like injustice and like how the cruelty of the system can affect you. She becomes like that definite version of the proletariat, you know?
I would say that that's a pretty strong. That's a good way to get radicalized.
Yeah,
is watching certain
multiple
people,
children.
Yeah, well, and watching certain people just hoard all the wealth while you and everyone you know live in poverty, and your children die because
what do you got?
Because you got nothing.
Piss and mud.
Because you work your ass off. But
meantime, every time your husband sneezes, you can hear the ping of the iron filings in the plate.
Every time your fucking husband sneezes, a wad of jizz shoots across the room and into your fucking vagina, and now you're pregnant again.
God damn it. You ever see Monty Python and the Meaning of Life?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the beginning. Every sperm is sacred.
Yeah.
That starts with a woman doing the dishes with like 30 kids in the house, and she like sneezes and a baby falls out.
That's right.
She just looks at the other kid. She's like, "Get that, will you?" Okay, so in 1917, Europe is essentially collapsing under the weight of World War I. Right? Spain remains neutral. Spain has been pretty good at remaining neutral through a good portion of the world wars. World War II hit Spain pretty hard, but mostly northern Spain.
Just through a lot of wars in general.
Yeah. So like southern Spain is like really good at just being like, hey,
they don't commit too hard.
We're all olives and wine here. What do you want? What out us?
Have you tried Iberian ham? Would you leave?
I think the best representation of how Spain does in like World War II is the movie Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's set in Spain in World War II.
I've never watched that entire movie, but that fucking thing with the hand eyes creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, fucking
creepy.
Yeah, who's that senator? You know what I'm talking about? The senator that keeps like going blank. He's
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell. That's Mitch McConnell.
He's got the same mouth. Yeah, he's got the same like weak
with
chin.
the hand eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McConnell looks like a fucking turtle.
Yeah, specifically the one from Looney Tunes.
Yeah, turtle.
Thank you. Yes.
He looks like a dead turtle.
I'm gonna win this race.
Nope.
Whoop.
Gonna win this race war.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Europe's collapsing under World War I for the most part. Spain's neutral, but the war creates a lot of inflation, economic instability, and the workers in the Basque region go on strike.
Okay, right? Good.
So along with that, soldiers are mutinying, workers are striking, the political system is kind of collapsing, you know?
When all those things happen, that's a pretty solid sign that you're doing something wrong.
Well, it's like you can think of it kind of like this. Like Spain is much larger than Florida. Right? So literally if Florida was its own government, right? But Georgia and Alabama and fucking North Carolina and South Carolina are all devastatingly at war in the biggest industrialized conflict that's ever happened. It might not be fucking with you too much.
Your dog likes beer.
Yes, she's a baby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, feed that baby
I love
some
giving
booze.
babies beer.
Get away from the beer. So the workers strike, soldiers are mutinying. Political system in Spain is not doing great because the barons, right, are losing money to all of this conflict with the tariffing and fucking all this shit.
The word barons immediately sort of makes you go, ugh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the steel, the coal, the fucking...
No, I know what you're talking. The fucking oligarchs.
The oligarchs in general are so the oligarchy is getting pissed off and they want the workers to work harder so they can make more money off of this massive death system that's happening right above them.
Yeah.
You know,
what do you need money and kids for?
Yeah, shit's getting real fucking
Get
dark
your fucking dicks in
general.
line.
And then like the big thing that sparks a lot is the Russian Revolution happens.
Bolsheviks.
Yeah, you could think much in the way that
Is it the Bolshevik Revolution? Yeah. Okay.
Much in the way that like the American Revolution was a bit of an inspiration for the French Revolution.
Right.
The Bolshevik Revolution hits the workers in Spain like a lightning bolt. They're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, you can just kill them. All right. So for working class militants across Europe, this is a proof that a monarchy could fall and workers could govern. The Bolsheviks seize power, landlords are dispossessed, factories are nationalized. It becomes, I mean, it's the fucking Russian Revolution. It's the
Right.
which, I mean, we could do a bigger piece on in the future, but suffice it to say, it's like the big one.
We covered it a little bit with our
With
revolutionaries
Stalin,
on Stalin, yeah.
In Spain,
Which was a really popular episode. I didn't expect.
it's because of Hot Stalin.
Huh?
Everybody wants to fuck Hot Stalin.
Oh, you're talking about like his mugshot when he was young. He was a good looking dude.
Good looking dude.
Good looking dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he ended up being sort of a fat, pockmarked piece of shit at the end.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Hey, we all
Even
age.
the Mona Lisa's falling apart.
We all age, I guess. But yeah, young Stalin was like,
Yeah,
when I saw that photo, I was like, okay,
I'd fuck him.
go on, Stalin.
So
I'd fuck him.
I'd fuck him. In Spain, socialist and anarchist movements were already pretty strong because of all the conditions in the working class, right?
Sure.
But the Russian example gave a lot of urgency to those who believed reform just wasn't going to come.
Right.
You know, fucking drop the pretense here. Not to put too many parallels to our current system and the way things are going, but I'm sure that anybody who's listening has probably over social media or something seen a lot more political disenfranchisement, I guess you could say, but more than that, a lot more of like an urgency call. Like I've seen multiple instances of people just literally giving dates to a day that like a revolution should happen, or like
I think
putting out plans on Instagram.
I think what's happening, and it's all in the wake of these files,
which is again that's much like the Russian Revolution, is kind of like a lightning bolt that's like catalyzing.
I think what's happening is that people, regardless of what side of the political spectrum they fall on, are realizing something that we say a lot here on this podcast, is that there is no war but
the class war.
The class war.
Yeah.
And so it's always been funny to me that wanting your government to use your money to make your life better there's a word for that, and it's socialism, and it's somehow a bad word.
Yeah.
It's like, I pay you taxes. Use my taxes to make mine and my family's life better.
Something that I've noticed a lot lately is that there's a so like maybe this is just everywhere, but I've noticed, at least in America, there's a huge attachment to fun new titles, right? Like if somebody could be like, I'm this thing, they'll grab it, like Antifa or some shit. You know, like Antifa's been around for what, like 2 years, 3 years? Like
a little more than that, but yeah.
It's still like a loose affiliation of nothing.
About 9 years.
There's like no central anything to it, but people will grab onto that as either good or bad, right? And I've noticed that leftist is currently like that, the big term. Like liberals out, leftism is in, right? Because people see themselves as like wanting to move further to the left, possibly in like a violent way. I have been referring to myself as a leftist for fucking 30 years, right? And I don't like that it's an affiliated party.
I think it depends on what you're talking about. I see.
Well, because that's what you were saying, that the term socialist is this like, oh, it's bad socialism, right?
It's been propagandized into a bad word.
Which is annoying me, because leftism right now is being propagandized in the same way.
Yeah.
And people who previously would have been referred to by me as spineless liberals are like being, oh, I'm a leftist, I think we should do more. I'm like, that's not an affiliation, though.
Yeah.
You want to put yourself in a class or a party or something like that, do that. Libertarian, socialist, communist, whatever. Leftism it's not a movement.
Right,
it's just
right.
that you want to push further on a spectrum.
I think my biggest problem with the terms left or right or Democrat or Republican in this country is that, and we say this a lot, people contain multitudes, right?
Yeah.
So the way that those parties have evolved is that we sure are talking about politics a lot for a non-political podcast.
Is this an episode specifically about political upheaval?
About Spain. It's Spain's political upheaval.
Well, I mean, we're talking of the time in reference to past instances.
Right. So the problem with...
Just so happens that shit's all fucked up.
The problem with the way that the left and the right have evolved is that to affiliate yourself on either end of that spectrum means to put yourself in a box where you have to accept all of the things.
Which I hate.
Or you are not part of that.
I don't like.
Or you will be criticized.
I've always been against. I'm a registered independent.
Same.
That's why I've always referred to myself as a leftist as opposed to a liberal. Like shit like that. Like I don't like these classifications.
No.
I always think of Donnie Darko. You seen Donnie Darko?
I have.
Right?
I have many times.
You seem like a guy who's seen Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
where's my skateboard?
There's that. Yeah. Right. But there's that bit where it's like, put the fucking placard on the wall in
Yeah.
the lines between love and fear.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And he's like, this.
Jake
they're not the
Gyllenhaal
same.
goes like, then what about the whole fucking spectrum of human emotion?
Yeah.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about? That's how I think of with like left and right.
I love that
You
movie
know?
starts off with like a family argument about the Reagan Dukakis.
Yeah.
Dukakis.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
The Reagan Dukakis election.
The dad sitting in the chair, fucking angry about Dukakis. That's a great bit. So the Russian Revolution, the Bolsheviks, starts like a sensation sweeping through Europe.
Sure.
It's a sensation that's sweeping the nation. They're killing the wealthy. Well, it's just the idea that like, oh, over there they did it. And it's like, I could get there on a train in like fucking 2 days.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So socialist and anarchist movements were already pretty heavy at the time in Spain. The Russian example gave a lot of urgency to that, though. And Dolores began reading Marx and Engels. You know,
Okay.
not just the Communist Manifesto, but Engels' many works. Are you familiar with was that Richard Engels?
No, but I am familiar with 80s sensation Richard Marx.
Right.
Great musician.
I'm a big
top 40 musician.
I'm more of a Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Okay. No, Richard Engels, yes, I am familiar. And Karl Marx, I am familiar. Richard Marx. What's the fucking Richard Marx song? Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you.
Friedrich Engels. My bad.
Oh, okay, good.
Friedrich.
Well, thanks for saying Richard, because you had just said Marx, and that made Richard Marx pop into my head.
That works out. But yeah, Friedrich Engels, if anyone's not familiar, was a German philosopher and social and political theorist and contemporary of Karl Marx, who was the exact same thing I just said. He
Okay.
was a contemporary of Friedrich Engels.
Okay.
Okay, so Dolores starts reading Marx and Engels, right? She joins political discussions, and then she started writing articles condemning exploitation, and she would get more and more involved, and she started signing her... sorry, fucking dog just bit the shit out of me.
Yeah, she's been biting me the whole
Fuck
time.
you, asshole. So she starts signing her papers Passionaria, which means the passion flower. Yeah. The name was drawn from a religious symbol associated with suffering and sacrifice. Carries Catholic resonance even as she's starting to drift away from like Catholic Church authority, because at a certain point, I believe your worldly interests start to become lightly more important than your religious influence when your children are dying, right?
I mean, like I said, if there is if there's a formula for radicalization,
start killing the kids.
She's been fed all of it.
Yeah. In 1921, amid factional splits in the socialist movement, Dolores joined the newly formed Spanish Communist Party,
Okay.
which was aligned with the Moscow-based Communist International.
Which I will say right now, like the Communist Party has a storied history. None of it has worked other than to spur change a little bit back in that direction. But I'll be the first to say communism doesn't work. Communism has never worked. Any country that's ever been a communist country is not a true communist country. The term communism only works in a small sort of on a very small scale. You can't scale it up to country size.
It's a very common speaking point to just say things like communism doesn't work. But it's much like I was just saying, okay, you know what doesn't work is the Communist Party.
Yeah, also, yes.
As a party, bad, right? As a philosophy, as a movement, communism is not a singular set of rules that says exactly this, much like social progressives or social democrats or what's the thing Bernie Sanders says he is, a fucking democratic socialist.
Yeah.
Right? Like these are all spectrum-based philosophies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would never say that communism does not work specifically, but it's not something that you should adhere to like a fucking religion.
It doesn't. I will say irrevocably that I don't think it works on a national scale.
I don't think anything works on a
can't.
national level. As a matter of fact, I really don't. I think that all of these different, not to get on a soapbox here, but like we've watched capitalism and democracy and all of these American tenets work and fail at the same time in different parts of the country over and over again in cycles. Always.
Well, that's why the reason it was a good idea in its inception, the way this country was set up, was that we have a federal government that sort of has a few things that they take care of, and specifically mostly national defense, things of that nature. And then each state was in effect supposed to operate as its own little mini nation.
Yeah.
Its own little city state, if you will.
I wish that this was talked about a little bit more without people getting pissed off about it, because a lot of American culture has been socialized in a lot of ways. There are even some communist tenets to bits of our socialization, just things like our federal government and the way that it hands things off and it's supposed to all work together.
Right.
Like just there, that works fine.
By the way, as someone who does not identify as like a right-wing person, I do understand people who are upset about things like federal government overreach.
Well, yeah.
Right? Because there are certain things that the federal government was tasked with from its inception that it has now gone way above and beyond.
I also get mad about Inception. What the fuck was that movie?
A dream in a dream? How
Dream
do I
within
do
a dream
that?
within a dream, then it's real. And what was
No,
Tom
just
Berenger
stop.
doing? Anyway, all right, so
What's that Chinese guy from fucking Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Who's he? What's he doing?
we could very literally espouse fucking like different variations on theories about political structure forever.
If we could.
One of the reasons we don't do that is because we could do it forever. We all got strong beliefs. I think that it's really easy to just say the most blanket thing I can say is that not everything works all the time in every way. And
Right. It's also so complex. There are so many facets that it's too easy. Like every time I find myself engaged, which is more and more seldom with the way people are nowadays.
it's hard to do because everyone is an absolutist.
Right. Most people take a very hardline political stance on whatever it is that they believe.
I'm gonna have to stop calling myself a leftist now because all these fucking dickheads are jumping on leftism like it's a fucking club.
No, I'm not gonna go into that. But by the way, you just made my point for me, kind of, sort of. There are so many facets that one thing leads into another thing, leads into another thing, leads into another. So you find yourself in a political conversation where you started with this thing, this specific topic, but because this other thing, the way the government operates in this realm, it sort of
He's holding his hand like he's holding a pair of balls right now.
two plums.
He's got two hands, just kind of like claws in front of his face, like my mitts,
plums.
and it looks like he's holding balls.
Two separate whole. I mean, I could fit a ball sack in each of these hands, honestly. So this thing has a bearing on this thing. So then you sort of go on a tangent over here, and then this thing is affected by this thing. So you go on a tangent. And so in a 20-minute conversation, you might navigate 5, 6, 7 different topics that all have an effect on the thing that you originally started talking about, or affect a thing that affects the thing you originally started talking about. But because people have such hardline stances, by the time you get to that place, they're like, well, what does that have to do with blah, blah, blah? And it's like, well, we went down the whole rabbit hole to get here. You were with me the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, like that's theoretical politics and politics in practice can't really exist in the same world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and that's one of the problems that comes up with the Communist Party is like theoretically cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah, but then like fucking people also need to figure out a way to barter for things.
Right.
And
Scale it
it's
up,
really
scale it
hard
up to national
like,
level.
I don't give a fuck what your situation is in life. You're going to have to negotiate with people for things. And the Communist Party has always been very staunchly, we don't negotiate.
If you scale it up to a national level, though, so let's use this example right now where we're talking about, right? The Basque region. Lots of coal mines, lots of iron mines. Those things are there's going to be a plethora of those things, right? So if there's a plethora of those things, just by human nature, I'm not even talking about capitalism, right? Just by human nature, if everybody's got iron and coal, then me bartering with the guy who's got cheese and milk, it just the scale of economics doesn't work out. Whereas if I guess I'm going to go travel halfway across Spain to where there are fewer coal mines and iron mills or whatever, iron factories,
right,
or steel factories, now that's going to go a little bit further, right? It sounds like capitalism, but it isn't. It's supply and demand, right? If there's a lot of supply in one area, which is how just human nature works. So that's why communism doesn't work on a large scale, because you are inevitably going to get these pockets where there are more turnips over here. So turnips aren't worth as much here as they are here. That's why I say communism works great in a commune.
Yeah, that's
right?
that. Thank you.
In a commune of 50 people where we're all working with the same resources, and we each have our individual things that we're good at. And so we can go, hey, I'm good at plants, so I'll do plants, and you're good at building houses, so you do houses. That works.
Communism works great in a commune. A commune does not work great as a nation.
No.
That's really what it comes down to.
Right.
And that's why communism and anarcho philosophies work together a lot better, because anarcho philosophies are often based on the idea of city states.
Right.
It is something that I espouse pretty strongly, actually, but I mean that's also a very complicated social
Very
idea,
complicated.
and I don't want to fucking get into that.
Yeah, no.
The city state idea is very Walking Dead, and I don't need
philosophically,
to get into that right now.
philosophically, it's a great idea. Implementing it is a very different thing.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, moving on to our actual
we sound
topic.
so smart this week.
Don't we?
We should talk about politics more.
Yeah, great.
No,
Fuck.
no, we walk
Talk
into
about
this.
UFC next.
We walk into this studio with the part of the reason, and I've said this before, why we don't talk about politics much on this podcast is because it's as much that we know a lot of people don't want to fucking hear about that shit. Like, if you found our podcast and you like our podcast and you listen to our podcast every week, you probably don't want to hear politics because it's so fucking just constant. And by the way, we walk into this studio going, okay, this is a place where we can like shut that shit the fuck out.
All right. Well, hey, to really round that out, I just want to say, along with all this other stuff, my big philosophy is that's all hobbies because I'm a nihilist. Nothing really matters. Everything is irrelevant. So
Okay. Okie dokie. The next time Riley gets his electric bill, he's just going to send a piece of paper that says, I'm a nihilist, and just send it back to the fucking
again,
power
you
company.
gotta have hobbies. Everything up until I jump off the bridge. That's all just distractionary, baby. I'm just fucking killing time here.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I've got some cinder blocks if you want to walk into the ocean.
I've got cinder blocks too.
Oh, okay.
Find my own rocks.
Fucking humble brag.
Thanks.
Guys got cinder blocks, y'all.
I don't like playing online with people. If I'm gonna have my little hobby where I live life, then I'll do it myself. Thanks.
Okie dokie.
Anyway, so 1921, amid factional splits of the socialist movement, Dolores joins the Spanish Communist Party, which is aligned with the Moscow-based Communist International.
Okay.
Not yet quite as insidious and powerful as it will be in the near future, but still working off of the Lenin experience of the Bolshevik Revolution.
Right.
Not quite moved into the Stalin-esque horrors that would follow.
John Lennon.
Imagine.
Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov. Okay, so the party was small, and it often.
Imagine a world with no wars.
So the Spanish.
Imagine touching underage.
Oh my
girls.
God! I've been on this paragraph.
I'm sorry. Go.
The Spanish Communist Party was small and often persecuted, but it offered a lot of clarity. International revolution required like disciplined organization and solidarity with the Soviet experiment. So if the Spanish Communist Party wanted to move forward with a revolutionary action, having solidarity with this much larger and now successful Communist International in Moscow was kind of like a must.
Like compulsory, yeah.
Yeah, you really
okay.
sort of have to.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if they see a weaker variant of the Communist Party,
Then they're going to be like,
they'll just be like, no, we'll shut that shit down.
Yeah,
We're
you're
going to
not-
kill
you're not us.
We'll kill everyone in the Basque region. Like, don't fuck with. But if they've got backup from the now very powerful Moscow International,
they've got more. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all political posturing.
right. So in 1923, General Miguel Primo de Rivera seized power with the king's blessing.
Miguel Primo de Rivera.
Yeah, so you want me to do that?
I would love it, but I know you can't.
Miguel Primo de Rivera. Miguel.
Miguel Primo de Rivera.
Hey.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's Miguel Primo de Rivera.
Hey.
Hey.
Somebody put some boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap. Miguel Primo de Rivera. Hey. And you're singing Babuni.
Babooni?
You want me to sing some Babuni?
Okay, so General Miguel Primo de Rivera seized power of Spain, of the Spanish government, with the king's blessing. Parliamentary life was suspended and opposition was completely shut down. So effectively in 1923, General Miguel Primo de Rivera becomes the authoritarian ruler of Spain.
We're basically talking about martial law.
It is essentially martial law, yeah.
Okay.
And so there's no opposition. Parliament's shut down.
Yeah.
This is an infighty thing, right? Because the Civil War was already kind of happening. So it was sort of like a coup, but with
Oh.
it was like
I thought you said with the permission of the king.
but it was the permission of the king. the parliamentary resources.
Because it's a constitutional monarchy, so they're still okay.
It's like if King Charles in England was like, no, take over.
Well, no, because King Charles in England was an absolute monarchy, which is whatever the king says.
Right.
Constitutional monarchy means
current day.
This King
Charles.
Oh yeah, he's the first, isn't he?
Yeah,
we did monarchy. I'm sorry.
King Charles was like, yes, take.
Right.
I bless this.
England right now is a constitutional monarchy.
I bless this coup, essentially. Right.
Okay. So the way a constitutional monarchy, just in case you guys don't know, is that there's parliament. There's still checks and balances with a king for whatever reason who is there for life.
Yes.
Like England, although England is a constitutional monarchy, but the monarch is just a figurehead. They don't really, they're not really involved in politics.
What would fix all the kinks with the constitutional monarchy is burning all of the monarchs alive. Once they're dead, it's just the constitutional democracy after that, right? Like anyone who's got a claim to the throne, you got to just publicly gut them.
Oh no!
Make it really mean.
Prince. What is Prince Philip?
Prince Billy.
What are the princes now?
Princes.
What are the ones?
Shit, fuck them.
The one's married to Meghan Markle and the other one's married to the other brunette lady.
Whatever.
I don't remember their name.
Timmy and Tommy.
Oh no, Prince Timmy.
Oh no,
Prince Tommy.
He's dead. Oh, I guess we'll go about our day. Anyway, the authoritarian dictatorship that happened under Rivera, it tried to modernize infant structures. It tried to modernize the infrastructure of the country.
We want babies with long arms.
So
just leg-sized arms and arm-sized legs.
Tried to modernize the infrastructure while
fix this infant structure
while suppressing dissent. And you can tell exactly how well that's going to work, right? For communists, this was like arrests, surveillance, underground activity. But at the same time...
improving infrastructure sounds good.
Which is all at the same time, the people who you can improve the infrastructure with are the workers and laborers
that are striking.
Currently striking and joining the Communist Party. So this is the basic authoritarian structure.
It's improving infrastructure through
violence.
Do it.
Yeah. Do it or we'll fucking kill you, essentially.
Yeah, jail and or kill you.
Yeah, it's I don't want to put any more parallels on fucking current day living shit, but like it's a very like dissent will be punished sort of culture that he's putting in there. So if you're attending Communist Party meetings, you're gonna get fucking clubbed and murdered.
Domestic terrorist.
Yeah. Domestic terrorist. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Boom. Bow, like that. Secret police in there with a gun. Bow.
Domestic terrorist.
Dead in the street, right?
Actually, secret police are domestic terrorists. So. Hot takes. So Ibárruri moved increasingly into national politics at this point. So she relocates from Basque to Madrid, and she becomes a key figure in party publications and organizing. Okay.
Right? So she starts to personally, now she still has 2 kids, mind you.
Yeah, the 2 kids that are...
There's 2 kids that are still living.
Still pretty young
might still be 3. Well, yeah, it couldn't be more than 6 or 7, right?
Okay.
But it might have 3, maybe even 4 kids.
What year are we talking?
Well, this is 1923.
Okay, yeah, so I mean 10?
Yeah, kids under 10. They have 2 or 3 of these kids under 10.
Okay.
She moves increasingly into these national politics. She's arrested several times. She's just passing information around, printing stuff, organizing meetings. It becomes like her life. She's now being funded by the Spanish Communist Party because she's become this powerful voice. It's the Passionaria?
Passionaria.
The Passionaria. It was during... Passionaria. It was during these years that she developed the oratorical style that would define her later. She didn't speak like an academic. She spoke on moral terms. She wasn't doing the Leninist, just like, the proletariat must rise and seize the yada yada.
Wait, she had limited education.
Yeah, she's speaking more in terms of like, these motherfuckers. They killed my children.
She's the people's voice. She's not, well, it's...
Yeah, Vox Populi.
Yeah,
and as we all know, Vox Populi, Vox D.
She's not an educated elite, to use a modern term. She is someone who, goddamn, her story, has got.
And we're only like halfway through it.
Yeah, her story has got to be, like I said, for one, that's the recipe for sort of radicalizing anyone.
Yeah. Well, she
and 2, her telling her story has, I mean, that becomes a very, well, if it can happen to her,
Yeah, exactly.
all these parallels between her life and where I am.
She, in speaking, she invokes motherhood, sacrifice, justice. She draws on religious cadence. Like she's got this sort of like, and then we'll strike these bastards
Right.
down. That sort of thing. She like brings in Spanish, obviously, but like she fucking has this. She's a mother, and everyone can see like a grieving mother full of rage and be like, okay, like we're gonna back that up.
that's a pretty powerful thing.
Yeah, like my children were killed by these fucks. Even if it was starvation or
I don't
disease,
care who you are. Watch a mother who's lost how many? 6?
I mean, she had 6
6.
Two
So
survived to adulthood.
yeah.
So at this point, she may have lost like 2 or 3.
So watch a mother who's lost, well, first of all, any children, but I mean, a third to 2/3 of her children because of this system that's sort of being proliferated.
Yeah.
I defy anybody to listen to that and not be moved
Immediately.
at least to some degree.
Yeah, exactly. So she also emerges as one of the few prominent female leaders in this movement because the movement's still dominated by men all across the board, especially in Russia.
Yeah, men are
You know?
better.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're
We all
a
know
lot,
men are better,
at
stronger.
a lot better at all kinds of
They're-
things.
if men
Like-
disappear,
like
women
murder.
will all die.
Really good at killing people.
If the men disappear, how will women eat food?
I mean, they'll probably just share for a minute.
Well, listen,
It'll be a paradise until that bitch Becky gets there.
fat bitch, eating all the biscuits, fucking greasy biscuit finger.
Men are
Becky.
not better. We know that. It's stupid. So
The
she emerged,
manosphere joke.
yeah, she emerges as one of these prominent voices in a completely male-dominated political world. Her authority rested not only on ideology but on her presence. Observers remarked on her intensity, as she seemed to pour personal conviction into every word because obviously these are stakes for her. Like it's like
Sure.
this is the real world. She's not fucking around. Like she's trying to do. There's so much rage associated with this. Like my children died in poverty. That she's fucking like she's actively. It's like when you watch like a presentation about like mothers against drunk driving.
Yeah.
Like they're usually very sad and they're kind of begging for people to not do this. To make a change. This is the equivalent of somebody going to one of those rallies with a gun and saying, if I ever see you fucking drunk drive, I'm going to murder you and your family.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
I would imagine if you've lost 4 out of 6 children, or even if she's at 2 of 6 children, you've got to wake up every morning and the first fucking thing you do is jump out of bed and go make sure your children are still alive.
Yeah, right? And then after that, go drink a cup of coffee and shake with rage. Yeah. So in 1930, Primo de Rivera's regime collapses under economic strain and loss of support. Like people just kind of weren't backing him up. And he's a military junta, so it's like you kind of need like oil and shit. So the monarchy is staggered because of this, because they had put all their support behind de Rivera, right? And Spain is heading like fucking hurtling towards something pretty serious. In April 1931, municipal elections became a referendum on the monarchy. Republican candidates triumphed in major cities. Now, the Republican that we're talking about in this obviously is not the current American Republic.
Sure.
It is a political party associated with forming a republic, and the republic
Constitutional
republic based around Senate.
Right.
Right.
A constitution, checks and balances.
Yeah, kind of like we're supposed to have.
Right.
So Republican candidates triumphed in major cities. King Alfonso VIII left the country. This is a major victory, of course.
Okay, see ya, Alf.
The Second Spanish Republic was declared, and it's like, boom, we're now a constitutional republic, right?
Cool.
The republic promised a lot of transformation, like land reform to break up large estates, secular education to reduce church dominance, autonomy for regions like Catalonia and the Basque Country that are suffering under all this industrialization, women's suffrage, which is a big thing because they hadn't had fucking suffrage in Spain yet. Mind you, the votes weren't really.
We didn't yet at that point.
Yeah.
We were close, but
No,
31? 31? Yeah, we did.
Yeah. But like, yeah, they didn't have fucking.
we just did.
Fair enough. Like, there are a lot of parallels with.
Well, but I
a
mean,
lot of-
but obviously in 1931, I mean, women's suffrage was like pretty new.
yeah, and
here
the vote for women passed in 1931. So in the
the
Spain,
U.S.
in Spain.
Oh, in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, in U.S. it was 29.
Yeah, 20 or
29, I think. But I mean, also we talk about lightning rods for things like, they're seeing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shit's fucking.
They're
it's
seeing that.
Not like they're isolated.
Yeah,
you know?
no, America, the women just got equal rights. Like,
Right.
we want that. you know?
Yeah, fucking World War I fucking ravaged Europe. Everybody like is paying attention to places that are doing pretty well. Like America.
God.
America's doing really well after World War
1931.
I. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yang. Tough times.
Just don't go a little north.
Tough times.
Don't go a little bit north because there's some things happening over in Germany.
Well, see, there's the thing. In Germany as well, like they are also reforming after a pretty devastating fucking war. So this is like,
Well, 29 was when the Nazi Party started
Yeah.
being elected into.
and the Nazi Party is this sort of reaction to the initial World War I.
Right,
Right.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. So it's all part of the Reformation.
The reason
everything
why-
burns down and then it's building back
The
up.
reason why they gained so much traction
within
was
20 years
because
is fucking crazy.
yeah, that is crazy. With the reason why they gained so much traction was because in the aftermath of World War I, they had to pay reparations to other countries for bombing their fucking cities and killing their citizens. And so that put Germany in a fucking horrific depression, which
Put
is
the-
why
put
we
them
haven't
in-
done it since.
Put them in dire straits.
They
They wanted money for nothing.
They were the Sultans of Swing.
That was a different one that I was looking for. Who's the Sultans? I smelled the swing.
Also, 1931, last week's episode, that was the year that Marcel Griol had his first contact with the Dogon tribe in Mali, Africa. First time he did Mali in
The
Africa.
Blorgons.
The Blorgons.
Anyway, so they fucking women got to vote now, which is cool. But reforms moved super slow. Land redistribution was super limited. Economic depression really, really fucking hit Spain real hard, as it did much of the
I really
world.
thought you were going to say that the oligarchs came in and were like, yeah, that was a great pitch to get elected, but we're not doing any of that.
Well, I mean, they don't really have much of a choice because they just instituted a fucking new republic.
Yeah, but
The oligarchs backed the junta. Junta collapsed under the weight of its own fuckery.
okay.
The king flees the country.
Okay.
The oligarchs go, we do have estates in Italy.
So it's a new constitutional
I
republic,
think-
and everybody is.
I think it's time to go visit our ski
Right.
lodge in Sweden and leave this Spain business.
So it's a new constitutional republic. So everybody is still very idealistic. It's 1779 America.
It's fucking it's the day after Barack Obama got elected.
No, it isn't. It's 1779 America because by 1782 America, we're letting the fucking corporations start to run shit.
So anyway, reform moved slowly. Land redistribution was super limited. Economic depression hit Spain as it did the rest of the world. Unemployment soared, fucking skyrocketed. A lot to do with those oligarchs kind of pulling their dicks out and fucking kind of moving on because of all this fucking weird societal pressures.
Well, Communist Party, why didn't you seize the means of production?
We're still in it.
Boom, got it. Boom, got
you
it.
know?
Fuck them. Just kidding.
Fuck them.
Boom, I got him. I owned him.
So the left starts growing really impatient. The right gets a little scared. The Catholic Church saw secular reforms as an attack on Spain, traditional Spain, Spanish, fucking religion in general, because Catholicism is huge in Spain, right? Military officers feared like this massive loss of prestige because of the junta that just failed.
Okay.
Landowners feared expropriation. They were like, "Oh fuck, this republic's gonna take all our shit."
Yeah.
Right, so everybody starts freaking out essentially at this point. Political violence starts to increase, and in 1934, a leftist uprising in Asturias was brutally suppressed by forces commanded by a General Francisco Franco. Francisco Franco is a big part of all this.
Francisco Franco.
Francisco Franco.
By the way, I was thinking this while you were talking about after I said why didn't they seize the means of production. I have been saying for fucking easily a decade and a half, the problem with the left in any ideology, right? The more progressive, all ideas, no balls.
Right.
The more conservative, all balls, no ideas.
Jeez.
Always.
Hey, man.
Oh, and it's great to know that it's just reflected throughout history. I don't know that great is the word.
I mean, history's a mirror. Keep saying it.
It's
our current president was a big fan of seizing the means of production, grabbing them by the pussy.
God damn.
Drew said cut. Goddamn. And it is the first time in the history of this
I've never heard him
podcast
say cut.
that I've ever heard him say cut followed by goddamn.
Don't worry, we're not cutting that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
All right, whatever. We're all gonna get hung. So Ibárruri's rhetoric starts to intensify during this period. She denounces.
Oh God.
Yeah, she denounces repression. She's warning that fascism's growing.
Right.
She's getting real fiery. And across Europe, the pattern starts to get really clear. Adolf Hitler is consolidating power in Germany. Benito Mussolini is really ramping it up in Italy over
right
there.
next door.
Authoritarian movements are gaining momentum all over the place.
Not next door.
And
Close.
Spain is really like at a crossroads. At the crossroads.
I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all.
You won't be lonely. I miss my Uncle Charles. In February 1936, the Popular Front, a coalition of Republicans, Socialists, and Communists, won national elections. Ibárruri was elected to parliament.
Okay.
You know, kind of like
That's wild.
Yeah, just fucking riding the momentum of her
yeah.
fucking fiery rhetoric.
That's a pretty wild trajectory, but cool.
And then,
I think.
and then
Cool.
five months later, in July, elements of the military launched another coup.
Stop.
So the coup failed to secure the entire country. Spain split geographically and politically, and it began the Spanish Civil War. It was not.
This whole time wasn't the Spanish
This is
Civil
all
War?
a ramp up.
Fucking
It's
hell.
all getting there. I mean, we got World War I going on over there, and then in between World War I and World War II, things are starting to
Which
get
is
hot.
where we are now. Yeah.
And there's
okay.
not a World War II happening quite yet. We're in 1936, so
We're close.
we're real close. Things are fucking hot. Europe is a hotbed of activity and communism, socialism, fascism. Fucking the shit's all. Everybody's fucking each other in the ass.
God damn it.
To borrow a turn of phrase from somebody.
Fuck my fascist ass.
That's going in the end credits, baby.
You know it.
You know it. That's going right in there. So the Spanish Civil War was not a conventional war at first. It was a war of like militias and barricades, and there's like sudden violence popping up out of here, and it's like a fucking how to put it, like a guerrilla war.
Okay.
Not like the animals, but like the like partisans.
I don't want to watch a guerrilla GORILLA war.
No,
That
you ever
seems
see that fucking chimp
crazy.
war on Planet BBC's
Yes, and
Planet
I
Earth?
hated
That
it.
shit's insane.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I
in my
could
life.
imagine being there for that as a cameraman.
No.
No, I don't want to. That's hell.
I'm dropping the camera and
Getting
leaving.
the fuck out of there.
Yeah. You can't even climb a tree.
God, man.
Nope. That's fucking futile.
Those BBC cameramen are fucking. There's some warriors in that shit. So anyway, yeah. So they're doing like guerrilla warfare, urban warfare, a lot of violence popping up in streets, just fucking out of homes. Essentially, like police could knock on a door and they could be greeted with a militia, fucking right there. A lot of churches got burned.
Classic authoritarianism.
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. So a lot of churches could get burned or were burned in this area as sort of like a leftist reactionary thing. It's like we're changing the world, fucking burn these churches. And then also in a fun twist, the right wing authoritarians would also burn the churches, thinking that they were hiding leftist activity. Yeah, it was a weird like anti-religion war
Just across.
across the board.
Across
It's
the
like
board.
Catholicism started getting a little quieter because everybody's fucking killing each other, and it's not for religious reasons. For like the first time in Spanish history,
Yeah.
because pretty much every fucking war ever waged in Spain was over
Oh, yeah.
some sort of religious kerfuffle.
Well, Catholics with Islamists coming across the Mediterranean is pretty classic Spain.
Yeah, I want to hear more of that.
Right now, or
No, you get it? Spanish Muslims.
Oh, MOOR.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Anyway, so yeah, it wasn't conventional war, and when when Franco's forces advanced towards Madrid in the autumn of 1936, a bunch of leftist leaders had recently been executed in different raids and small battles, and like just hung, shot, fucking just publicly gunned down.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of
I'm sure
Anti-
after like a trial, like a lawyer appointed
military
to that.
junta, fucking the ad hoc trial, pow, So yeah, the capital was kind of preparing for siege from communist radicals
Right.
at this time. Ibárruri addressed crowds and radio audiences, and it was during this defense that she uttered the words that would define her legacy. No pasarán,
No pasaron.
no pasarán, which means they shall not pass,
Yeah.
right? This will be, of course, countered later by the famous phrase, tú no pasarán. So the phrase was not entirely new. It had earlier usage in World War One. That was, of course, the "tu no pasaran." Obviously, is the catchphrase of the famous Gandalf.
Gandalf. What's gray in Spanish? El cinzo.
Gandalf as
Is that cinzo? Cinzo is Portuguese for sure. Hang on. Now Tu no pasaron. By the way, if you watch that in Spanish, I guarantee you, I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to do it tonight.
You're going to put the subtitles on and pull up "tu no pasaran."
Gray in, no, that's French. Oh, I guess French and Spanish have the same word. In Portuguese, it's cinzo. I figured it was the same, but it's gris.
Gris?
Gandalf era gris.
Gandalf era gris.
Gris.
Anyway.
In Spanish,
so,
we pronounce the S's in.
So Ibárruri publicly says "no pasaran," which means they shall not pass. And this phrase is not entirely new. It had an earlier usage in World War I, but in her voice, as like a voice of a revolutionary sect, it became inseparable from Madrid's resistance. So
is she still in Parliament?
Yes, except
Parliament in exile?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, like, technically, yeah, she's still an elected figure in Parliament, but in realism, no, there's a fucking military coup.
Right, Parliament in exile.
Yeah. So the phrase is not, her speeches framed the war as global. In Spain, she argued, they had the first battlefield in the coming struggle against fascism, which is not really far off, actually, if you consider the way things went. The Civil War quickly drew a lot of foreign powers. Franco received aircraft and troops from Nazi Germany and fascist Italy. German bombers destroyed the Basque town of Guernica in 1937 in an interesting parallel to the Hunger Games. You never saw the later movies, but they totally blow up that district.
Okay.
Then that attack was later immortalized in a painting by Picasso that became really, really famous.
I didn't know that all this shit was going on in Spain.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I knew there were Nazi incursions into Spain for sure and bombings and shit. I just thought it was in furtherance of them taking over the whole of Europe.
It was, but it was in a sneaky, like,
but I didn't.
It was in a you're our allies, the same way they did with Italy, where Mussolini was their ally, and they would supply Mussolini with stuff, so that they would be technically in control of Italy.
So I thought it was more on the.
They wanted Franco to be their Mussolini in Spain.
I thought it was more similar to like the France just fucking go, or Poland or wherever, where they just went in and things were medium copacetic, and the Nazis came in and were like, fuck you.
Nope.
You're part of us now.
Yeah.
So like I knew that they bombed in Spain.
Give us your
I
baguettes.
didn't know that during all this that there was also this whole like fascist, communist fucking
a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
And this is why we do this podcast, man, is that all these parallels that we don't learn in sort of a time-stamped sort of way is that I knew that there was a Spanish Civil War. I never realized that it was happening in conjunction with the Nazi Party rising to...
Which gives like such an interesting flavor to that part of the world, because so much of our thoughts on World War II in the States here are shaped around the United States intervention, right? The United States barely gets involved in Spain.
In Europe in general.
Yeah, well, yeah, until much later. We were in 1937, so we got another 5 years.
Yeah, most of what we did in World War II was in the South Pacific.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost entirely.
Yeah, and like our push is literally Britain to France, France to Germany. Like that's our whole fucking that's our whole shit. Right. There are more, pushes around in different parts of Europe, but like our main force goes fucking right at them.
Yeah.
It's a very damn the torpedoes sort of attack. That's how you get the Battle of the Bulge and fucking just follow Easy Company and fucking Band of Brothers. It's literally just England, France, fucking Germany.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so we just essentially bypass Spain for the most part. But you do get a lot of interesting confluence. So you got
to go in the opposite direction.
So I don't have this in the notes, but in one of the books I was listening to, they talk a lot about the Spanish Civil War being a sort of like a magnet for like daring young men from America.
Okay.
Fucking George Orwell went to go fight in the Spanish Civil War.
Really?
Yeah, on the side of the leftists, right?
Well, yeah, I could have guessed that.
God, somebody else, I'm trying to remember.
The guy who wrote 1984 didn't support the fascist authoritarian regime.
He got
crazy.
He got shot in the face.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like George Orwell was out like, and he's just an American guy. I'm going to go fucking fight with him.
Okay.
You ever remember the show The Waltons?
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck John Boy in one of the seasons goes to fight in
His
the
Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was Little House on the Prairie.
What, the
Waltons were Little House on the Prairie, right? No?
But it's like an adjacent.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was
That
like
was a whole separate show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or actually, maybe they were characters in Little House on the Prairie and it was a spinoff.
Yeah, I think
that might be it.
there was a show called The Waltons.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think it was a spinoff.
I thought the Waltons were the family from Little House. But I could be so fucking wrong.
There's something like that. I don't know.
You're the expert on all that shit, not me.
The character John Boy from that show.
Yeah. Guy with the mole.
Guy with the mole.
Face
Yeah,
mole.
exactly. Fucking Ricky Schroeder, but with a mole. Yeah.
Face mole.
Yeah, face mole. He, in that show, goes to fucking Spain to fight in the Civil War as like a moral stand.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few of those. Interesting point here. Salvador Dali
Yeah.
on the side of the nationalists. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He was pro-fascism. Interesting.
That is
Didn't know that.
super interesting.
Does a weird thing to his art in my head now. Gives it a weird, like, fucking authoritarian lean that I didn't expect. Huh. Didn't see that one coming. That guy had a pet anteater.
He was a weird dude.
Yeah. What do you think those fucking authoritarians are going to be down with your mustache, you fucking weirdo? Anyway, the Republic received aid primarily from the Soviet Union under Joseph Stalin and from thousands of volunteers who formed the international brigades. So the Republic is being assisted by Russia, right?
Like as if Stalin's got that kind of, well,
I mean, Stalin now, and we're 1937, yeah. He's got all the fucking shit, all the power in the world right now.
yeah.
I mean, he's not like the dictator, but he is running the Russian government.
He is.
Yeah. So like he's got like Russia's so powerful right
Russian
now.
people aren't doing great.
No, they're under communism. But
He's diverting a lot of money away.
well, he's got more shit he wants. You know, he wants to take over the fucking world. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the period of time where they start forming the fucking USSR, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the Republic receives aid primarily from the Soviet Union and thousands of volunteers who inform the international brigades. Volunteers come from the United States, Britain, France, Germany, and beyond. And many believed they were defending democracy itself. Like this was a big, we're going to save fucking international democracy.
Sure.
Ibárruri spoke to them as comrades and as a maternal figure. When the brigades were withdrawn in 1938, she delivered a farewell address promising that they would live forever in the hearts of Spaniards.
So she's like in her early 40s at this point.
Yeah, and she is the matriarchal figure now of the revolution.
Okay.
Right? And this is a full-on civil war / revolution against a military junta.
Yeah.
You know, with the backing of a duly elected congressional government. Right?
Sure.
So she gives this beautiful farewell address to all these suckers, but the Republican side was internally divided. We got anarchists, socialists, anti-Stalinist Marxists, and they're all clashing over these different strategies and areas of control. You know, there's a lot of fractures in the left in general in Spain that happen after 1938 when things start to calm down a little bit.
Okay.
Ibárruri sided firmly with the Communist Party line, which was unity under disciplined leadership. And the war dragged on bit by bit. You know, after 1938, it was mostly a victory for the Republic because of all their volunteers, enough so that they felt that they could withdraw a lot of the troops and send a lot of people home. But it kept going on. And by early like 1939, the Republic was back on the back foot, right? And then Franco swept in and declared victory. So
interesting.
Yeah. So the left felt so strongly that they were able to take power. They were like, okay, well, cool. It's us now. We only got a few little pockets of this shit. And then Franco comes back with an authoritarian like sidestep and fucking takes the government again.
Huh.
And Ibárruri is forced to flee to the Soviet Union.
Really?
Yeah. So Spain entered nearly 4 decades of dictatorship under Franco. Political opponents were imprisoned or executed. Censorship became routine. Republican memories suppressed. Yada, yada, yada. You know, your basic authoritarian fucking takeover. In Moscow, Ibárruri became Secretary General of the Spanish Communist Party in exile. During World War II...
Why is this happening?
It was because the dog likes you and you let her on your lap and now she's eating your face.
Trying so hard to lick my mouth.
Yeah, she loves that.
That's the part she's going specifically for my mouth.
She wants that beer, dude. You gave her a taste.
Go home, dog. You're drunk.
So in Moscow, Ibárruri becomes Secretary General of the Spanish Communist Party in exile.
Another drunk girl trying to make out with me.
During World War II, she linked Spain's struggle to the broader fight against fascism internationally over the radio, appealing to American sentiments, British sentiments against fascism. like kind of recalling, like, hey, you guys came and helped. We still lost.
Hey,
but
remember how you guys were helping us out?
her son, Ruben, died fighting in the Red Army against Nazi Germany.
Interesting.
Which is a personal tragedy that deepened her identification with the Soviet cause. After 1945, the Cold War reshaped alliances, and though Franco had fascist origins, Western powers gradually embraced his regime as like a bulwark against communism. After World War II, they're like, hey, we know that you're kind of like a Hitler.
Well, you're bad, but you're not
You're
as
like a
bad.
Hitler, but like, and I know the communists kind of like helped us beat Hitler, but like maybe you can fight the communists. And maybe we can.
Oh, yeah, because overnight,
maybe we'll give you some money and you can just say that they're bad.
No. That makes sense because literally as soon as World War II ended, it was like,
fucking
communist
like, boom, overnight, bam.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, thanks for really saving our bacon and then winning the war. Fuck you.
Because China.
Because China.
Because China.
So Ibárruri remained loyal to Moscow, even though the shocks of de-Stalinization after Stalin's death in 1953 really rocked the Communist Party. For decades, she lived in exile when Spain changed slowly under authoritarian rule. Economic modernization in the 1960s created a new middle class in Spain, and underground opposition movements reemerged. The Communist Party gradually adopted a more moderate kind of Euro-communist stance. Sort of like I was saying earlier, like you pick and choose a little bit.
Right.
And the Spanish Communist Party starts being like, we can do a little bit of fucking capitalism here. We can do a little bit of this here. Mostly we're going to keep our core. Franco died in 1975, and Spain began its transition to democracy under Juan Carlos I. In 1977, at 81 years old, Dolores Ibárruri returned to Spain. Crowds greeted her. She was elected once again to parliament.
Okay.
So it's not the Spain of 1936. It's obviously a different political climate, but it was a Spain seeking reconciliation. The Communist Party had renounced revolutionary insurrection in favor of democratic participation.
Okay.
Which is cool. I like that shit. I like
That's
that.
fine by me. I'm good with it.
Oh, cool. So we don't have to kill each other. All right, we'll back down a little bit on a few things,
Right.
so that we can work together in democracy.
Yeah.
Ibárruri, once the fiery voice of wartime resistance, now stood as a living link to this like buried era. She's in her 80s.
Yeah.
Right. She's 81 when she comes back to parliament. So now she's the old matronly like warrior,
Right. She's done some crazy shit.
Yeah, dude. She was like running wartime shit in burned out buildings and stuff like that. She was a revolutionary.
That's wild.
Dolores Ibárruri died in 1989, the same year that the Berlin Wall fell.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's
Her
cool.
life had spanned monarchy to republic and then civil war, dictatorship, world war, and then democratic restoration. So like kind of the weirdest thing. So she comes from this like depressed, over-industrialized fucking hellhole, right? And she fights her way all the way up to democratic restoration, which is fucking crazy over the span of 60 plus years.
Right. And over the span of how many different changes along the way.
Yeah. She's a contested figure still. To some people, she's this like the embodiment of anti-fascist courage. She never surrendered. She refused to. Was always fiery. She didn't surrender when Madrid was under siege.
That's cool as fuck.
But to other people, she represents like rigid loyalty to Stalinism, and complicity in internal repression and shit like that. Which is like she was a staunch Stalinist until he died.
Okay.
So like you see this happen a lot with revolutionary figures, or like look at like Che Guevara, right?
Yeah.
Che Guevara comes through as a powerhouse revolutionary figure, and then by the end he's having people shot by the dumpster. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
But
it's the problem with political absolutism.
I'll tell you though, being really backing up Stalin all the way to the end is that's a choice.
That's a choice I don't love personally, but here's the thing is like, and this is the issue with any political absolutism. Things are gonna change. People's minds are gonna change. The things that are important in our society are gonna change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like when you take a hardline stance and are unwilling to listen to, consider, etc., and that thing slowly starts to sort of seep its way into the majority of people, then now you have gone from hero to villain. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So like, yeah, I don't love it. I don't love that part. I don't love that part.
There's really only so much that you can do with that information. It's cool Her whole life story is pretty
Her
pretty
life
great.
story is fucking incredible.
But again, fucking political shit's tough, man. There's a lot of murdering that happened in this time period.
Oh God, yeah. Like an insane. Like we just spanned through World War I and World War II.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Dolores Ibárruri.
That's what a wild story.
Yeah.
I feel very much the same that I felt at the end of Stalin.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, the interesting thing about talking about people who have done a lot of stuff in their life, some good, some questionable at the very least, is that you don't really need to put a bow on it. They're dead.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. There's no recourse for anything I say because I can't go talk to her.
Literally
and be
is
like,
what it
the
is.
fuck?
Yeah, it's just there we go.
Why wouldn't after you got everything you wanted more or less in your country, why wouldn't you have just been like, Stalin is kind of a piece of shit after all? You know what I mean? But that's kind of the only questionable thing, really.
Yeah.
Because I understand all the rest of it. Like I can sort of critical think my way around all of it except for supporting Stalin all the way to the bitter end.
Yep. That is a tough nut to crack there.
But again, we have to consider the possibility that how much of I don't know, and I'll be the first to admit I don't know how much of what Stalin was doing in terms of like sending people to gulags and, basically.
Well, I know she wasn't at the cowboy movie parties where like he'd get shit faced with everybody until dawn, and then the next day he'd have one of them executed.
One of them
or
killed,
something.
yeah. But like how much of that stuff was
I am American cowboy.
how much of that stuff was sort of news at the time versus news after the fact? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly
How much
what.
of the state-sanctioned famines were being projected out to the world at the time versus only if you were there, and then the rest of the world finds out in the aftermath. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know. I don't know that there were reporters on the ground at the time going, yeah, look at all these people in the gulag. You know,
That's fair. And then also, if you think about Dolores being like, yeah, I mean, people are starving. People were starving when we started this too. So we're doing what we can.
But
Yeah, I
see,
don't know.
even that, I'm not.
Every
like,
now
if
and
she
then, just be
knew-
like, she could just be like, oh, like 10,000 people murdered, huh? Yeah, that's probably fine.
if she knew, I feel like what I've learned about her, I feel like if she knew that there was intentional famines happening in Russia under Stalin after he sort of seized the mantle of power, I feel like based on what I just learned about her, she'd be like, yo, what the fuck? You were supposed to make things better. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
But again, I don't know how much of what was happening under Stalin at the time was. I mean, I know that that's when, like, under Stalin was really when Russia like took a lot of pages out of Nazi Germany's books in terms of setting up an entire propaganda machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, there was a lot of stuff that was happening under Stalin that I think didn't come out until people could a little bit more freely
Talk shit without getting murdered.
Yeah.
They could be like, hey, I think that dictator was bad. And then look around real quick. Like, oh, fuck, are they coming?
So yeah, I'm not entirely sure like what about Dolores was aware of any of that or how much she was aware of.
Well,
But she's fucking interesting as fuck.
yeah, that was pretty good.
And-
pretty good figure.
And what a wild person for no one that I know to know about.
Well, honestly, I didn't know anything about the Spanish Civil War.
I didn't either.
A lot going on there.
I knew of it, and that was about it. And neither of us knew anything about Dolores Ibárruri before this episode.
Not at all. No idea at
Neither.
all.
Yeah, like we knew that we wanted to do a female revolutionary. Like that was something that we were like, oh yeah, we should see if there's a chick who's like badass. And we just sort of picked her out of a hat.
Yeah, pretty cool. I'm looking at pictures of her.
Oh, really? There's photos of her?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's older, but
Wait, you want like a young hot picture of her? Hold on.
yeah, I want to know was it Franco Ruiz?
It was
No.
James Franco Ruiz.
No, it wasn't Franco Ruiz. What was his first name? Javier?
Francisco
Was it?
Franco.
No, I'm talking about fucking her husband.
Oh, I don't know. Hold on a second.
Something Ruiz. I want to see why he was pumping so many babies into her.
Probably because they lived in poverty. He had no other outlet.
I've had a hard day in the mines.
Honestly, she looks like an angry woman who's lost some children. That's what Not exactly a babe, but I mean, still pretty cool.
Had a hard life.
Yeah.
Dog, you cannot lick my face. I will fuck you up.
On that note,
if you guys like this episode or any of our other episodes, the best way to tell us is get on whatever you are streaming this on and give us 5 stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. It helps us a ton. If you're on Spotify, leave us a comment on this episode or any of the other episodes that you like. We might say something back to you if you're cool enough. But
no promises, dork.
No promises. Instagram, follow us, Delete Everything Podcast, and you will see photos and videos and stuff from all the episodes whenever Riley decides to catch up. He's only four episodes behind.
Tonight.
He's only a month in the backlog.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through the whole list of all the upcoming episodes, and I'm just going to fucking download thousands of photographs, and I'm going to organize Instagram uploads, and I'll put them out before we record.
That would be kind of smart. Ow. Well, not the putting them up before we record.
The dog bites you. You got to bite the dog back. Everyone knows.
Is she still teething?
Yeah.
She's got to still be teething.
Yeah, she's a baby.
Yeah, she's
You
really
fed that
focusing
baby
on
a
the back.
beer.
She's really focusing on like the gummy parts in the
Right.
back. What else was I talking about?
That's it. We're done.
YouTubes.
You chew pubes?
The
Why don't you chew pubes, you fuck?
Find us on the YouTubes. Yeah, follow us on YouTube. We've got videos and stuff in there, mostly from our Patreon videos, but there's fun
Bit
stuff
the
there.
shit out of you, didn't she?
Yeah. Yeah. And I really wanted to punch her, but I
You
didn't.
should have punched her as a puppy.
No, I just bopped her.
Punch
a little
that
bit.
puppy right in the face.
I just bopped her, but clearly not enough to make an impact because she's biting me again.
She loves it.
Next time, bring a chew toy with her.
I'll bring a muzzle.
She's throwing this whole end bit off. But Patreon. Join us on Patreon. Okay, bye.
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 Fuck my fascist ass.